Hey everyone, welcome to today's Explainer. As your virtual flight instructor today, I am super excited to guide you through one of the absolute most critical aspects of flying, aviation weather. Now, if you've ever stared at a weather briefing and felt completely overwhelmed by all those letters and numbers, don't worry, you are definitely in the right place. Today, we're going to transform all those dense, intimidating weather codes into a really vital toolkit for safe flying. We'll be pouring all that raw data straight into what we call the decision maker's funnel. So let's just dive right into the deep end with the ultimate question every single pilot faces. As the pilot in command, your absolute most important job happens before the engine even starts. You have to ask yourself, is it truly safe to fly today? Weather is literally the ultimate boss when it comes to flight safety. Checking the weather before every flight isn't just a good idea, it is hands down the best way to avoid unfavorable conditions and prepare for potential hazards. It all boils down to your final go/no-go decision. And to make that decision with total confidence, well, you need the right information. Here is our flight plan for today. We'll cover 1. Pre-flight services, 2. Decoding present weather observations, 3. Decoding future forecasts, 4. Visual charts and hazards, 5. In-flight updates, and finally, 6. The go/no-go decision. Okay, Section 1, Pre-flight prep and services. Let's talk about getting that weather briefing. Under FAR 91-103, you are legally required to become familiar with all available information before a flight. You might remember the acronym NWKRAFT for all your pre-flight info, but our focus today is strictly on that W, weather. To actually get that weather, your primary source is a flight service station, or FSS. You can literally just call 1-800-WX-BRIEF to speak to a real human specialist. There are 3 main types of briefings you can ask for. Step 1 is the standard briefing. This is the whole shebang, the most complete report providing the overall weather picture. You should always get this prior to departure. Step 2 is the abbreviated briefing. You ask for this shortened version when your departure gets delayed or you just need to quickly update specific items from an earlier standard briefing. And Step 3 is the outlook briefing. This is what you request when your proposed departure is 6 or more hours away. It gives you a great initial forecast to help with early flight planning. Oh, and you can also use supplemental tools like TIBS, that's the Telephone Information Briefing Service for continuous recordings, or DUATS, the Direct User Access Terminal System for internet-based briefings and filing your flight plan. Section 2, Decoding Present Weather Observations. Think of this as taking a snapshot of the exact present moment. Let's break down the METAR, the Aviation Routine Weather Report. These are issued every single hour in a standard international format, and we read them left to right just like a book. First up, the type of report, usually METAR, though occasionally you'll see SPECI, which just means an unscheduled special update. Next is the station identifier. Here it's KBPT. It starts with a K because we're in the US. Then the time, 161753Z, means it's the 16th day of the month at 1753 Zulu time. Next is wind. 14021G26KT tells us winds are coming from 140 degrees true north at 21 knots and gusting to 26 knots. After that, we have visibility. 3/4 SM stands for 3/4 of a statute mile. And sometimes this is followed by RVR, or runway visual range, which gives you the actual slant range visibility, looking straight down a specific runway. Right after visibility comes the weather phenomena. In our previous example, we had the code TSRABR. Let's unpack that alphabet soup. TS stands for thunderstorm, RA means rain, and BR, that stands for mist. You can also figure out the intensity by looking for symbols. A minus sign means light, no sign means moderate, and a plus sign means heavy. So once you know these codes, you can instantly differentiate between, say, light showers or heavy freezing rain. Moving right along our METAR, we hit sky condition. Our example shows SCT-003 BKN-008. So, sky coverage is measured in eighths. SKC, or CLR, means clear skies. Few means 1 to 2 eighths. SCT, or scattered, means 3 to 4 eighths. BKN, or broken, is 5 to 7 eighths. And OVC, overcast, is a solid 8 eighths. Here is the absolutely crucial takeaway, defining a ceiling. A ceiling is strictly defined as the height above ground level of the lowest layer of clouds reported as broken, overcast, or vertical visibility. Meaning a scattered layer at 300 feet, not a ceiling. But a broken layer at 800 feet, that definitely is. Now, METARs are fantastic, but they really only tell you what's happening on the ground at the airport. What about up in the air? That's where PIREPs, or pilot weather reports, come into play. When pilots encounter real-time hazards, they report them directly to ATC. A UUA code means it's an urgent PIREP. Think scary stuff like tornadoes, severe turbulence, or low-level wind shear. A UA code is your standard routine PIREP. These follow a standard format reporting location, time, altitude, aircraft type, sky condition, temperature, and crucial remarks like icing and wind components. Commercial airlines actually use something really similar called AIRMETs via electronic data links. And hey, if you need to know exactly where the precipitation cells are hiding, you can look at textual radar weather reports, known as RAREPs. All right, Section 3, Decoding Future Weather Forecasts. We're shifting gears from what's happening now to predicting the future. Our primary tool here is the TAF, the Terminal Aerodrome Forecast. Unlike a METAR, a TAF predicts the weather within a 5 statute-mile radius of the airport. It's issued 4 times a day and is typically valid for a full 24-hour period. You read the wind, visibility, and sky conditions basically just like a METAR. But you really want to pay special attention to the forecast change groups here. Tempo means a temporary fluctuation that lasts less than an hour. FM, or from, means a sudden, permanent change taking place in less than an hour. BECMG indicates a gradual change taking place over more than an hour. And prob gives you the probability, usually somewhere between 30 and 49%, that a specific condition will actually happen. Keep in mind, TAFs only cover the airport itself. For your en route weather across a big trip, you need the Aviation Area Forecast, or AFA. Issued 3 times a day, it covers an 18-hour period for a massive region across several states, and it's broken down into a synopsis, VFR clouds and weather, and a categorical outlook. Then we have the FB, which is the winds and temperatures aloft forecast. This tells you what the air is doing way up at different altitudes. And here is a super vital math trick for the FB. If you see a wind direction coded between 51 and 86, it means the wind speed is screaming at over 100 knots. No way, right? To decode it, you simply subtract 50. So if the code says 7701, you subtract 50 from 77 to get a wind direction of 270 degrees, and then add 100 to the speed, giving you a total of 101 knots. Pretty cool trick. Also, just note that they don't forecast winds within 1,500 feet of the station elevation or temperatures within 2,500 feet. Moving to Section 4, Visual Charts and Hazards, let's move away from the raw text codes and look at how we summarize massive amounts of weather data visually. Let's quickly compare our 4 main graphic reports. First, the surface analysis chart is issued every 3 hours and shows you atmospheric pressure patterns, fronts, and high or low systems. The weather depiction chart, also issued every 3 hours, is fantastic because it visually outlines broad areas of IFR, MVFR, and VFR conditions based on those METARs we talked about. The radar summary chart is issued hourly and shows the exact location, shape, and movement of precipitation cells. Finally, the low-level significant weather prognostic chart is issued 4 times a day. It predicts conditions from the surface all the way up to 24,000 feet, highlighting areas of turbulence and showing the highest freezing levels. And that last part is absolutely vital for avoiding structural icing on your aircraft. But what happens when the weather turns truly hazardous? Well, we get advisories. Let's contrast AIRMETs and SIGMETs. AIRMETs, or Airmen's Meteorological Information, are issued every 6 hours and warn of hazards that are particularly dangerous to light aircraft. They come in 3 flavors. Sierra is for IFR conditions and mountain obscuration. Tango is for moderate turbulence and strong surface winds over 30 knots. And Zulu is for moderate icing and freezing levels. SIGMETs, on the other hand, are completely unscheduled. They are issued for severe hazards that threaten all aircraft, regardless of how big they are. This includes serious stuff like severe turbulence, clear air turbulence, severe icing, widespread dust storms, and even volcanic ash. And then there's the big one, the convective SIGMET. You absolutely must respect convective weather. These are issued hourly, valid for 2 hours, and represent extreme danger to flight. They are triggered by a line of thunderstorms, embedded thunderstorms, or specific severe criteria, like tornadoes, massive hail measuring 3/4 of an inch or larger in diameter, or surface wind gusts hitting 50 knots or greater. Basically, if you see a convective SIGMET right on your route, you need a new plan. To help you plan around these severe storms days in advance, meteorologists use convective outlooks. These outlooks define areas of risk for severe thunderstorms over a 3-day schedule. They categorize the threat levels into slight risk, moderate risk, and high-risk areas, allowing you to make strategic go, no-go decisions well before you even grab your flight bag and head to the airport. Section 5. In-flight weather updates. Because as we all know, weather is incredibly dynamic, and pre-flight is just the beginning. Okay, here is your airborne toolkit. First is EFAS, the En Route Flight Advisory Service, which is commonly called FlightWatch. You can reach them on 122.0 MHz when you are flying anywhere between 5,000 and 17,500 feet. They give you awesome early warnings of unfavorable conditions based on live PIREPs and radar. You can also contact the nearest FSS directly. Occasionally, ATC might issue a CWA, or Center Weather Advisory, which is an unscheduled alert for adverse conditions expected within the next 2 hours. And finally, there's HIWAS, the Hazardous In-Flight Weather Advisory Service, which provides continuous broadcasts of severe weather warnings right over a VOR frequency. You can also listen to automated weather broadcasts directly from the airports as you fly over. Let's clarify the difference between ASOS and ADOS really quick. ASOS, the Automated Surface Observing System, is installed by the FAA and provides incredibly accurate up-to-the-minute METAR information. ADOS, on the other hand, is operated by the National Weather Service and comes in progressive capability levels. ADOS-A only gives you the altimeter setting. ADOS-1 adds wind, temperature, and dew point. ADOS-2 adds visibility, and ADOS-3 includes cloud and ceiling data, making it roughly equivalent to a full ASOS setup. Notice how this builds your situational awareness right on a sectional chart during a flight. For example, right next to Blythe, the ASOS frequency is clearly listed as 120.175. For HIWAS, you just look for an H tucked in the upper right corner of the VOR communications box. That H lets you know that continuous hazard broadcasts are available right there on that navigation frequency. Section 6, the go, no-go decision. We are bringing all the decoded info together into the ultimate bottom of the funnel. The source material for today is very, very clear. Certain weather factors must absolutely be considered in relation to your aircraft equipment and your own personal ability. Thunderstorms, especially embedded ones, are an automatic no-go. Why? Well, because in the dissipating stage of a thunderstorm, you can encounter a microburst. This is a localized downdraft dropping at a frankly terrifying rate of 6,000 feet per minute. No light aircraft can outclimb that. None. You must also respect fast-moving squall lines, moderate or greater turbulence, structural icing, and fog. And crucially, you have to complete your IMSAFE checklist. If you are sick, tired, upset, or depressed, your ability to handle any sudden weather problem is going to be greatly compromised. I want to leave you with this direct, provocative thought from our source text today. Do not go beyond your ability. Are you comfortable flowing in marginal VFR if you haven't flown in a while? Look, you now possess the knowledge to decode all this complex weather data. But knowing the weather is really only half the battle. The true mark of an aviator is having the discipline to measure that weather against your own recent flight experience and personal minimums. And honestly, having the courage to stay on the ground when the data clearly says no-go. So, what will you listen to when the weather speaks to you on your next pre-flight? Thank you so much for joining me on this explainer, and as always, safe flying.